Are you the kind of person who thinks it's okay to swallow toothpaste? Well, if you are, then you're in good company. Today we'll be sharing stories from our past, playing some games, and maybe even performing a live sketch or two. Let's set off your homemade fireworks, grab your knitting needles, a blanket, because it's time for three old friends to sit around and sew a new patch into their quilt of friendship. So join me, Dion, along with Christian.
Welcome to Patchwork.
And Josh.
Welcome to Patchwork. Now, guys, before we get started, I just wanted to take our minds back a few patches ago. I've got an update on some news. I mentioned at high school there was an epidemic of Dacking. And since announcing that, I had one of my school friends, Aaron, contact me, and he reached out and explained to me, he's like, you didn't mention the best part about it. I was like, okay, what was it? So because I was sort of always on the fringes of that stuff at school. Like, I was friends with all those guys, but they knew I kind of wasn't up for it, so they wouldn't do that shit. Whereas, like, it was pretty widespread, and everyone was like, oh yeah, if I can get him.
Isn't the point to get the people who aren't up for it?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Yeah, but then, because it was almost like these witch hunts where, like, if they would just pick one person and, like, everyone would go at them and get them. And it was to the point, it was literally to, like, ripping the waistband. It was pulling them up and out and actually breaking the underwear. And then so you've got the bare ass, and then the bum drag occurs after that down the hill.
Oh, bum drag?
Yeah.
That wasn't part of Dacking?
At Melbourne High it was.
But do you think people, like, when they hear Dacking, do you think they totally understand the concept? Because you've just
It's
introduced it.
hardcore wedgies, really.
What?
Yeah, it's more wedgie than Dacking.
So Dacking and wedgies, they're the opposite, right?
Yeah, I guess they are.
Yeah, it's they're the you couldn't get things
hot and cold, Dacking and wedgies.
But do you think the intention of the Dacker is to completely show all the genitals? Because I feel like that's like a byproduct that the Dacker would kind of be like,
I don't really want that to happen.
Black and Dacker.
Double decker bus.
I think it's more embarrassing just for the underwear. Because once you get...
No.
Yeah, because it's kind of silly.
No, the point of the DAC is to expose genitals.
Surely.
Really?
Yeah,
You want to get everything.
Of course you do.
So, but the big thing that is amazing, that the wedgies were so bad and hurt people, because you're just pulling underwear up between someone's cheeks, essentially.
Yep.
People started to come to school with, like, pre-cut underwear. So they knew it was going to happen, so they'd cut it. So if they did get wedgied and it just broke really easily and just popped out.
Did you do that?
I didn't have to do it.
Do you know anyone that did do that?
After Aaron mentioned it to me, I was like, absolutely, that's 100% what was happening.
Yeah. What are the? I'd love to know what those people are doing now. That is so funny.
Do you know what they're doing right now? They're cutting the meshy short inside liner out of their shorts.
What an amazing thing.
I know.
So they were ruining their underpants in order to participate and for it not to hurt as much?
Yeah. Yep. Essentially, yeah.
I would have been one of those people.
Yeah, because you're smart.
No way. Yep. Thinking ahead
Wait,
of
you
the
reckon
game.
that's smart?
Of course
If
it
you
is.
know they're going to come after you and rip your underwear out, go, I'm going to cut it so it pulls out very easily.
Josh, I feel like you've had a very American experience of school, because I can safely say no one at my primary school ever, like, forcibly wedgied someone, or there wasn't much dacking happening.
It's pretty
bit
weird.
of fun though, isn't it?
No, but I feel like did you have what's it called in the American house parties with the red cups?
Oh, just beer pong.
Did you have that with, like, Primas? juice box pong? And now it's time for Oh Wow of the Week.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. The man who designed the Pringles cylinder packaging system was so proud of his accomplishment that his ashes were buried in one of the tall circular cans.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Very recently, I hosted a house party and found that I have a awkward tendency that I've probably had my entire life, but became very apparent to me when we were having a group discussion, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of laughing, and when all of the laughter kind of cascaded out and there was a moment of silence, I realized that I'm not the type of person who can let silence rest. And I said, geez, a lot of fun we're having here, aren't we?
Oh, that's so
Just
awkward.
to fill in the space. Yep. And people looked and they were like, you don't need to say that. Just let it sit for a bit.
Get it.
Just let the silence sit.
Oh, there was a weird moment at that party where you said something else. You said, remember the barbecue discussion?
Yeah.
You asked someone we were talking about barbecues.
Oh, that's right.
And then you asked the weirdest question, which was like,
yeah, that's that.
Was it
See,
you?
yeah, I asked Josh. I was like, "How do you do barbecues?"
how do you do barbecues?
remember?
How weird is that as a question?
That's entirely it. That
And
was
it
a product.
shut it down because I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
How do I do barbecues?
Yeah, because I was trying to fill the silence
Yeah.
because I was thinking, well, I'm the host here. I need to kind of prompt people questions.
It was so weird, and you sort of tried to cover it, but you
Yeah.
didn't really
Well,
do
someone
a great
backed
job.
me up.
Yeah,
So-
well, I initially tried to help you, and then I was thinking, you know what, fuck it. Fuck this.
Let him burn. Leave him out. Leave him to drown.
But what did you, so that was just you scampering for something to say?
Well, yeah, there was a moment of silence when everyone was eating. So the first thing that came out of my head was, how do you do barbecue?
but what did
you would be amazing on a first date.
But what did you mean when you asked that? What were you thinking?
I don't know.
Was there any thought process?
I saw Josh eating a sausage and I just thought, barbecue.
It's amazing
That's it.
that you opted for that rather than silence, when silence was a much better option.
Especially when
Of
people
course
are
it
eating.
is. But that's what I'm trying to say, is that I've noticed that I have a tendency to not be able to let silence sit. And I think that for other people, it must be frustrating.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they're aware of it, but it's something that I was like, well, maybe this is something that I have to personally
No,
work on.
I think most people are like that. I think most people have a problem with silence.
I think it depends on the comfortableness of the relationship. Like, I know the better friends I am with people, the more completely fine is it for both of you to sit there in silence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that doesn't work for me. Even if I'm sitting there with someone who I'm great friends with, i.e. you, Josh, and you, Dion.
Then again, Josh, something I discovered when we went to Vietnam was you have a little bit of trouble with silence as well. and the problem with it is that it promotes what you've labelled, what I think is you're uncomfortable with silence, but what you've labelled a game.
Yeah.
And that game is called Say What You See.
Yeah.
And if you're interested in the concept of the game, the concept is
It's
Josh.
right in the title there.
Yeah, that's right in the title. It's Josh walking down the street and saying what he sees. That's all he does.
Take me for a journey, Dion. Take us through a conventional walk down Ho Chi Minh Lane.
Yeah, okay. So masseuse. Tuck lamb masseuse. I'm sure they do a good masseuse. Oh, pho. Oh, wonder if it's got fur in that pho. Let's have a look. Oh, and down this lane here.
A lot of it is like
Beer,
sides.
beer lao. Oh, lao. Oh, wow. I wonder if it makes a lao sound. Yes, Josh.
It's largely like signs or storefronts, and I think it sort of comes from...
Oh, so you're aware of this?
Yeah.
Oh, so do you do this deliberately?
I don't know if it's deliberate. No, but Ellen, my girlfriend, she experiences it a lot. Like, I find it's really bad if I'm the passenger in a car.
Yeah, it's shocking.
It's really bad with that.
Really bad.
I don't know if it's to do with silence or what. I think it's the thing of like... and so when we're in Vietnam, I was trying to work out why it was, because Dion just couldn't handle it. He just was distressed by this. Like, most other people are completely okay with it. He's like, Josh, it's got to stop.
Yeah.
You've just got to shut up.
No, because I guess when you're overseas and you're walking down the street, there's so much happening in these busy cities. You kind of want to take it all in. You don't want some dickhead sort of calling everything out and commentating your days.
But what I'm trying to do there is draw your attention to it and to make sure, did you see that same thing I saw?
do not need it. Why do I need you to draw my attention to
If
something?
there's a title of a store that I found of interest for some
no, but
reason.
that's the thing. The things that you comment on, they're not of interest. They're just things.
Yeah, but you need to see them.
It is odd. It's pretty strange. So
yeah.
when
I'm aware of it now.
When you're with your girlfriend in the car, will there ever be times where there's silence for minutes on end, or are you mostly talking?
Mostly talking, but there are there's silences.
I'm not talking about incidental silences. I'm not talking about between words.
I don't think it's a feel like Christians. I don't think it's a fill in the silence thing. I don't know where it picked it up. Maybe it was a childhood thing of, when you're playing what's it called? The I Spy. Did you ever have those?
I Spy with My Little Eye?
No, the bingo board thing. And it's got all these things you're meant to find on the road trip. So it'd have like
Yeah.
a train crossing, a truck, whatever. And as you're driving around and you see them, you cross them off your little bingo list.
Actually, just quickly on the topic of that, why aren't there more games to play in the car, better games to play in the car? All I know is I Spy with Little Eye and that bingo thing. I don't know
it sounds
anything
like
else.
there are better games. Josh was just saying.
Say what you see.
I would love to hear from our listeners whether they have great games that they play in the car, because you can't
The spaceship The spaceship game's really good.
What's the spaceship game?
I don't want to explain it now, but it's like I'm going on a spaceship and I'm going to take, and you take 2 items, and there's a relationship between those words, and the other people have to work out what the relationship is.
It is amazing. I think that informs so much who you become later in life, Dion. No, because I think Josh's ability to access information is a lot faster than both you and I's.
Really?
And I think that might be informed by the fact that he was mentally stimulated in the car as opposed to, I don't know, getting smacked by his parents constantly.
Stop dirtying up the car, Dion.
But
Get
Dion,
back in your booster seat.
But Dion, it's funny that you single Josh out for that. Now, if I could transition to a quirk of yours, I actually think that perhaps you are honest, but too honest at some points in time, that it becomes detrimental to the people around
It's
you.
my greatest strength and my greatest weakness.
If I could posit an example.
Yes, you can.
It was when we went out one night. I think we were at a very swanky bar in the city, and my cousin was there, who was a great guy, and he brought some of his friends from work as well. And Dion had no trouble in. Now this is 3 people extended from Dion, and he had no trouble in going up to this guy and just saying, "I don't want to talk to you. I don't like you. Go away."
No, there was a lead up to it. So there was this guy. He was very, very drunk, and he was very annoying.
Yeah,
and I was there with friends, and I really wanted to see my friends. I just wanted to chat to my friends. If you don't know Josh well enough, that's my impression of Josh. And so he was very, very annoying. Kept on coming up to me, and I had a scarf on, and he kept saying, "Oh mate, can I wear your scarf? Do you think I was?" And I was like, "Just." No, I'm not. No, I don't want to. And it just built up and built up. And he was like, "Don't you like me?" And I was like, "To be honest, I don't want to talk to you. I really don't want to talk to you right now."
And this guy just became so deflated. And I was like, "Dion, you have to have better tact."
But
than that.
he was quite drunk, to be fair to Dion.
He wasn't as drunk as Dion's making him out to be.
But he's
just annoying.
Holy crap! Then that's worse, and it gives me more of a right to tell me to fuck off. But it's also, with that kind of thing, it's also about like, hopefully, if it was just me and him, you obviously wouldn't have an issue. But it's the fact that there are other people around that might know him and they might have a problem with it.
Also, you need to be considerate of my cousin.
Yeah, that's true.
Who's the person who would have to deal with that friend going up to him and being like, "Who the fuck is that guy?"
He was a work colleague, by the way. He wasn't a friend.
He's a friend.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, you're a piece of shit, mate.
But you did try and sort of let him down slowly for a while, didn't you? Like, "Oh, yep, sure, mate. Yep,
Yeah,
no worries.
I
Yeah,
really-
okay, look."
but
Or
you know what?
You didn't jump straight to that, did
No,
you?
I didn't jump straight to
There
that.
weren't as many steps as well as
No,
Dion's
no,
making
it was
to
a
be.
very small set of stairs that I walked down. One thing I was actually thinking about myself, and this is something that I only found out on my brother's bar mitzvah when I was 7, was that I blink a lot. And that's something that I do a hell of a lot. I'm a blinker.
No, so is every human being,
No.
mate.
Rapid,
You're an excessive blinker.
Excessive blinker, rapid blinking. And apparently when I'm thinking about something, my girlfriend will always be able to tell when I'm thinking because I blink heaps.
Yeah, I've just become hyper aware of it.
yeah,
Both me and Christian going, "Yeah, he does blink a lot."
I
Jeez.
blink fucking heaps.
I wonder if you thinking dries your eyeballs out.
All the moisture's going straight to the brain. But did it change your behaviour finding that out at all?
That's a great question. I think it may.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it happens.
If
It
anyone
happens.
who's not in the room with us,
It
he's
happens.
blinking.
We'll get like a webcam that's just on Dion's eyes.
It's basically, I don't sleep well at night because essentially I get lots of REM sleep throughout the day. But the way I found it out was we were in synagogue and my brother was singing and there was this ceremony and the camera would pan over to me and I would be blinking. And you know what? If you patchworkers are lucky and if you really want to see something fucking funny, I will upload some footage of me blinking in my bar mitzvah video. I'm wearing a burgundy jacket. It's never been seen before outside my family and my girlfriend is desperate to see it. So if you want to see it, you let us know. Otherwise, if we hear radio silence or podcast silence, you're not seeing any of it.
A tendency of mine that actually changed my behaviour once I found out about it was these are the things I used to carry in my pockets. Used to be phone, wallet, keys, chapstick.
Oh.
And I was a big chapstick user. It was always like every time chapstick. And then one day I was with a few other friends and they're like, "Oh, Josh put on the chapstick again. I was like, what are you talking about? And then another friend went, yeah, you put on chapstick all the time. And I was like, oh my God, it's a thing. And like multiple separate people were like, yeah, Josh has a thing with chapstick. He puts on heaps of chapstick all the time.
You don't seem like a chapstick person at all.
I'm not anymore, mate. That's why.
So when did you stop?
A few years ago.
Was this
When did you stop?
was this combined with you applying lipstick with your long hair as well?
Just biting on the napkin. But it actually used to stuff up my lips a bit. And since I've gone straight off chapstick completely,
Straight off cold turkey.
cold Chappie. So I've got there's much more consistency to my lips. They don't get weird and anything. But it was this thing.
Hang on, so why were you wearing it beforehand?
Yeah, what was the
just
purpose?
to protect you from wind and all that kind of stuff. And it felt
Protect you from wind!
that is literally what chapstick is for, you idiots.
What kind of wind tunnels are you standing in that they're blowing your lips open?
And did it have like Gore-Tex in it as well?
I'm like,
Gore-Tex chapstick.
Duck down, Chappie.
yeah, I'm a pilot and I fly fighter jets and
Without the top on.
So wait, so it wasn't a... So that's so weird. Protect you from wind.
and sun, and it's
Protect you from wind, sun and water.
It's like putting on moisturizer. It's not. You understand what chapstick is for. I'm not weird in telling you what it's for.
I don't understand what it's for.
It's just to protect your lips
I
from...
thought it was if you have cracked lips. Josh,
Yeah, cracked.
okay.
It's just prevent cracked lips.
What's that got to
which
do with
happen
wind?
because of wind often.
Josh, I'll be honest with you. I think I've worn chapstick or lip balm maybe 5 times in my life, and it's because they were broken or bleeding, whatever. I've stood in some pretty windy tunnels. I've stood in some pretty harsh sunlight. Never have I needed to apply chapstick.
Yeah, and I'm fine now. But earlier,
This is big Chappie. It's got you.
Big Chappie.
It's convinced you that you
has.
needed it.
But no, and it was that case, and because I used it as a kid as well, and then that just sort of carried on into adulthood. And then, once I found out it was a thing, I was like, oh, I had no idea other people were noticing that I use a lot of chapstick. So I was like, all right, we're getting rid of the chapstick. It's just phone, keys, and wallet now.
Have you
That's
ever
it.
put lipstick on, Christian?
No. I've always wanted to though, just to see what it's like. But
Have you ever put any makeup on? That's a yes.
no, I would have put makeup on for musicals back in the
That's
day.
my answer to that,
Yeah.
always.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's always. And as the time I went as half man, half woman to the arts ball.
You did that, really?
It's great. Split up the middle. Perfect costume. I won the Freak Award.
Sponsored by chapstick.
I bet you he's still got that in his room as well on display.
Do you have a picture, Josh?
I can find one.
Cool,
we can
cool.
put it up on social media.
We'll be sharing that.
Yeah.
Something you do, Dion, that I've noticed is it's just the way... I've never seen anyone quite the same, but the way you use your phone, it's very purposeful, and you have a really strong... The way you have it with your finger, you flick it and stop it a lot. Flick, 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 stop.
That's
Flick,
so
flick, flick, stop.
interesting.
Like
Yep.
most people are a bit more... You're really pointed and really quick.
Have you noticed that, Christian?
Yeah, you're very deliberate. But
Yeah.
do you know what I think it shows is nous. Like it's like a confidence that I know exactly the
What
purpose
app I'm
of this
going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This gesture will result in this.
Do you- I guess I am quite purposeful with my phone because
Thanks, guys. I'm glad you asked.
No, but when you think about it, one thing that I don't think we've discussed this, but one thing that really annoys me are people on public transport with phones who do not look up at all. And I like to make a distinction. When I'm using my phone, I'm using it, and when I'm not, I put it down. I hate those people
actually.
that are down all the time, not interacting with their
But
environment.
you say that, but I find you, of most people I know, you get out your phone more often.
That's true, but it's,
you use it very deliberately when you do.
yeah, and it's usually for purpose.
Yep.
Yeah, shorter periods of time, but more often out.
Yeah. See, I don't like hearing that. I don't like that. I don't like hearing that about
It's
myself.
because you want questions answered, and like if someone's like, "Oh, I wonder how far the moon is from Earth." Don't worry, guys, I got this. Like,
Yeah, but that's not something that I'd value in someone else, that they use their phone often and with purpose. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But
So stop it.
But I think the reason why I do it is because my brother, when he uses a touchscreen phone, he does this really weird flurry at the end. So if you can imagine me swiping up, he not only swipes up to the top of the phone, he swipes up like beyond it. And then
You're
and then I once watched him driving and turning on the indicator, and it's kind of like he doesn't just turn it on.
He follows through.
Yeah, it's like a follow through.
Was he a tennis player?
He grunts as well.
He's terrible at sport as well, but I noticed this weird flurry, and I don't know what it is. I don't know why he has to continue it.
He's a bit of a magician. Maybe it's part of the showmanship. Of like, look at this magic device.
So So while we are just lambasting each other, I hate to point at old Chapstick for the moment, but Josh,
Christian, Dion, and Chapstick.
but Josh, something that Dion and I have discussed in the past is the way that you interact with retail staff. Now, you seem to be very proud about the way that you interact with them. It's going to be short, it's going to be sharp, it's going to be polite, it's going to be to the point, much like the way you govern the rest of your life, right? With purpose as well.
Yeah.
But what Dion and I have recognized is that you actually come across as very short.
Nah, I don't.
Impatient and short.
And,
No way.
And Christian, would you extend that to rude?
Rude and facetious.
Yeah, rude, facetious,
No.
impatient, short.
Yeah.
It's not. Does it actually come off as
with
rude?
very moist lips?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
And when we picked up on it was at that ice cream place we went to.
So what would you what would you like, sir?
Just the vanilla and the chocolate.
Yeah, cool. And would you like some in a wafer
Nope.
cone? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Nope.
All right.
Just that one.
Yep. No
Thanks.
worries. I'll fill it. I'll
Thanks very much.
I'll fill her up.
That doesn't seem that bad.
50
does it?
litres.
No, it's because it was a bad impression.
All right. Ready? Sir, have you decided what you want to order?
Yep. I'll just have the scrambled eggs with toast, please.
And did you want a drink with that?
Nope. I'm good.
I feel
Again,
that's
this seems completely
Yeah,
fine.
that one seemed more reasonable.
They're exactly the same. We both said the key of it was nope.
Nope. Okay, sorry. Let me rephrase all of this. Josh, don't say nope to retail staff.
I feel so vindicated that both of you did an impersonation of me, and then both of you went, actually, it's not too bad. Yeah, it's not that bad, is it?
No.
Josh didn't even have to defend himself.
We had to defend our impressions.
Your Honor, I rest my case.
I love that you said to me earlier, I've got your back. I've got your back on this. And then you just fucking criticized me.
But Josh, how do you feel? Let's dig a little bit deeper. What is the dynamic or relationship you have with a waitress, for instance? Do you feel comfortable or uncomfortable in that situation?
Well, because I've done that kind of work before.
Yeah.
So I feel that I'm like one of them. And so it's like, I'm just kind of be friendly and it's like, oh, hey, just, this please and that and great, awesome, cool.
Does that explain it for you,
Like,
Christian? Or
No,
is it
because
still
I've
plain
also
rude?
I've also been. I was in the in hospitality for a while as well.
I feel like this sort of over formal thing is almost creates more distance between the customer and the server.
Yeah,
so
right.
I'm trying to sort of bridge that gap and be like, oh no, and as well, it's like, yeah, you're just ordering ice cream or something. Like it's not a big deal. You know what I mean?
Actually, one thing
Yeah.
in terms of being over formal, under formal, one thing I've noticed, Josh, is when you say goodbye to people, invariably, it's the peace sign.
yeah, I've started doing that the last few years.
Yeah, it's
Really?
always the peace sign. But
Yeah.
you did it to my mum the other day. And that was
universal,
I
mate.
thought that was weird. What do you
You
think,
did it
Christian?
to Dion's mum.
I think it's
you
pretty
did
weird.
the peace sign
Yeah.
to Dion's
No,
mum.
you're making it out like specifically at her as opposed to goodbye to the room and everyone who was in the house going, see you guys.
I think it's a deep issue. I think you're uncomfortable with the wave. The concept of a wave.
Nah, it's because I'm trying to be an individual and I'm cooler than everyone else.
Understood.
I've never seen you wave. Can you wave for me now?
There you go.
Oh, that looks weird.
really?
Yeah,
So
yeah. That wave, for anyone who's listening, was like E.T. waving for the first time. He's mimicking Elliot. He said, "Okay, E.T., this is how we wave."
I'll stick to the peace side then.
Yeah.
But you don't seem like you're big on goodbyes. Like goodbye, you don't seem fully embracing of a goodbye.
I don't like. No, it depends. You're saying goodbye. I'm quite happy to sort of run around and say goodbye to people at parties and stuff.
Nah.
I don't like to ghost away.
Nah, so
But-
you were just at
Yeah.
my granddad's beach house on the weekend.
Yeah.
And you made a very deliberate decision.
Yes.
With your girlfriend next to you. You said, "Nope, let's just do a general goodbye," as
Yep.
opposed to everyone getting an individual goodbye. You just said, "All right, bye."
Yeah,
Christian-
because there was about a dozen people.
Christian, what do you think of a general goodbye compared to a one-on-one goodbye?
I think I'd feel too guilty for a general goodbye. I need to do a one-on-one.
Then again, one thing I've noticed with you, which I actually really like, is when you meet a girl for a first time, you'll go in for the kiss for the
Oh, yeah.
first time.
I think
yeah.
that's a good move.
That is great. I wish I was comfortable enough to do that.
I think I normally just go the handshake. Maybe at the goodbye if we've had a bit of a chat, but for the very first one, I think I'll start with the handshake.
But you go straight for the kiss. I think it's so nice. It's sort of, it bridges this gap. It's really, it's
you
beautiful.
break so much ice
Yeah.
just by that.
But you initiate it. Like, you'll
Yeah.
go in. Have you?
Oh, you
has
got to
it-
be confident.
Yeah.
yeah, well, I'm European.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't do the two kiss. Do you ever do
No,
two kisses?
no, I'm not that.
I'm not that European.
Yeah. But if I had an accent, maybe I'd go for the double kiss. But just on the cheek, and I don't even plant my lips on the cheek. I'll just put cheek to cheek
and make the noise.
Yeah.
But to defend myself with the goodbyes, I think there's two. Now that I'm being forced to think about it.
Yeah.
It's the close friends who I'm close enough with that it doesn't really matter if I,
doesn't matter.
get up and say goodbye and hug them. Like we're as good friends. And then there's like the strangers who probably not strangers, but people I don't know
Very
as well.
true.
It's not going to make a difference to them. Here's this guy I don't really know that well.
Yeah. And I think you do both of yourselves a favor as opposed to be like, well, I'll see you never again. I will literally never see you again.
Yeah.
But Christian, don't you think that you were saying last patch, I think that you think handshakes are weird or you don't like handshakes between friends or something?
I think I would prefer a hug over a handshake.
What do you think of the cool handshake? What is it? Has it got a name when it's not? It's not
like
just
the bro. The
The one that goes up, you bend your elbow up.
I always feel.
It's
weird
more so
doing that.
guided by the thumb.
Yeah, it's it's thumb guidance. That's the thumb guidance system.
Yeah.
But that inevitably is part of a hug for me. If that is happening, you're pulling them in and you're going the one hand behind the back.
It feels fake though. Just to go up to a guy and just hug him feels so much more real than a weird American thing.
But the bro shake has evolved to now have like a second move.
No
after
idea.
It.
No idea.
I
what
don't
I'm
want
doing
the
with it.
second move. Yeah, you slide out, and then there's either an explosion or a fist bump.
How do people know whether this is an explosion or a fist pump?
No, everyone's confused.
No
now.
one does
Everyone's
the fist bump after. That's a joke.
Some people do.
It's a joke if they're doing it.
Are they?
No reasonable, rational person is doing one of those and then fist bumping at the end.
Here's another one of Josh's quirks.
Great. Good.
That he's the arbiter of what is rational and reasonable.
Yeah, just get it right. Sort it out, guys. G'day, and welcome to House Swap, Australia's favourite reality show where we take two people from two different houses and they swap houses for a week. And this is our very special Tenants and Landlord edition. I'm your host, Scott Fitzsizzle, and with me we've got Tom and George. Now, George, you're the landlord. Tell us about yourself.
Hello, my name is George. I'm a landlord. I've got about 15 properties across Melbourne. I will live in Ascot Vale now.
And Tom, you're the tenant. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm 29. I'm currently living in inner city Melbourne and hope to have a property one day.
All right, guys, we'll now swap your keys and we're going to swap houses for a week. First, we're going to take George over to his rental property. This is where Tom's been living for the last 3 years. So let's check it out. All right, George, so how you feeling? Welcome to your house. Go on, open the door.
I don't know if these keys work. Oh, I've got about 30 keys on this key ring. Wait a minute. Jesus. Yeah, there we go. I'm inside now. Oh my God, this smells. It's a filthy. What's his name?
Tom. It's Tom.
I'm pretty sure his name is a Gmail something. But yes, it's a very smelly house.
All right, and George, did you notice anything wrong with the front door when you walked in, or?
Hey, it's cracks everywhere. I can't believe this guy let a crack in the door everywhere.
Again, just remind you, George, this is your house.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
So let's have a look in the master bedroom.
Okay. Oh, this big green patch in the top corner.
Yes, that's mold. That's mold, George.
What? He's sleeping in a room with a mold.
Yes, and he actually emailed you 5 weeks ago about it.
Email?
Yes, he mail.
Email? I get no mail. I get a couple of bills, but I got a lot of tenants.
Okay, George. Well, let's keep going through the house.
All right.
Here's the living room.
Yeah, so nice. Look at the floor. There's fucking coffee on the floor here. Nobody cleaned this place.
Well, George, the carpets are 35 years old, so they're probably due for replacement, aren't they?
Well, I tell everyone, if everybody keep the coffee in a cup and no spill on the floor, we have carpets. Fine, no carpet cleaning.
And let's go and check out the kitchen.
Yeah, it's a nice kitchen.
And, and if you just make your way into the bathroom and we'll check that out.
Yeah, you're right. This is a nice bathroom. It's very dark in here. Let me turn this. Oh, George gets zapped.
You have to be careful of that. The switch has been giving them electric shocks, George. You've been notified about that 7 weeks ago.
George would have got it fixed if I hadn't known about that.
Yeah, well, that's it for you, George. We'll go check in on Tom and see how he's going. All right, Tom, here we are at your landlord's house. Are you excited to go in and check it out?
I can't wait to see what it looks like because the way he keeps our house is horrible. So yeah, let's check it out.
All right, let's go in.
Jeez, this door's enormous. This is like a drawbridge. Oh wow! Oh wow! This house is huge. I can't believe how big this place is. It's like a palace. Is that fresh paint I can smell? It's just there's gold trimming everywhere. This is amazing. There are all these paintings, and I don't know how he would have got those paintings on there. They look like they're sort of levitating, or he's using like a 3M hook or something. Oh, hang on, is this? Oh, this is like a normal hook. He's put a nail in the wall.
Screwed straight into the wall. Let's check out the bedroom.
It's amazing what you can do in these kinds of places. The bedroom. Yeah, the bedroom looks good. Oh, hello, little boy. Look at you. He's got a dog here. I don't quite get how he's allowed in here, but it's cool that he's got his own dog and there's a cat, Chichu.
All right, now let's go check out the living room.
Oh my God, I just noticed I'm at perfect room temperature. There's a split system in every single room. And even like walking into the kitchen now.
Yep.
Oh my God, this kitchen, everything's so new and shiny and stainless steel. That's a microwave. It looks incredible. It's all German made. Oh my God, look at this oven. This is huge. Oh, even this stove looks amazing. Have you got like a lighter? I just want to see if it turns on.
Tom, just try the igniter.
Really? Like you mean a one press igniter?
Yep, give it a go.
That's weird. Oh my God, it's just one shot.
And Tom, turn on the range hood, mate.
No way, it's not going to be working, is it? You're going to be joking. It's actually a range hood that does something.
And let's go take a look in the bathroom, shall we?
Yeah, right. Here we go. So we've got the shower. It looks like it's a standalone shower. It doesn't look like the water is going into a bathtub where I have to sort of negotiate my footing or anything. That looks amazing. And there's no shower curtain or anything. It's just glass doors.
Try that water pressure of the shower for me, mate.
Yeah, that is gorgeous. That is unforgivable that I don't have that pressure in my bloody shower.
Well, that's it for checking out the houses. So let's bring Tom and George back together. Tom, George, you've spent a week in each other's houses. What do you think, George?
Listen, I just want to start. I'm so sorry. I have to make you live in that piece of shit house there in that fucking suburb. I have so many houses, I don't even know where you live anymore. But at one point, I get angry at you because I see a cat walking through the house and I say, this fucking guy has got a pet. But no, it's just holding door.
But George, I noticed that you had like pets as well. So why can you have them in your house and I can't have the in mine?
Because I own the property, mate. Maybe if you're rich, maybe if you got here in 1963 like me and you buy it for $15,000, maybe you also own property. You have a couple of cats, a couple of dogs, a couple of parrots.
All right, so George, what have you learnt from this experience?
I learned a lot of things, Mr. Speaker. I learned that to be good, George, you need to pay and be more attentive to your tenants, and that's why I am going to fix all the problems.
Well, that's a great result. Yeah, I've been living here for 3 years,
and I just want to tell you, it's all going to be fixed, but also your rent is due.
That's strange. I've already paid George the rent.
Oh, you paid the old rent. Now with fix everything, you're going to have to pay me double.
Oh, are you serious? That's ridiculous.
No, this is business.
That's all we got time for here on House Swap, Tenants and Landlords edition. We'll see you next week. I've been Scott Fitzsizzle.
I've been a George the boy.
As I mentioned in an earlier patch, I was down at the Falls Festival in Tassie working, and at one point in the festival, well, there was multiple points, but at one specific point, I was brushing my teeth. And I brushed my teeth in the tent with my toothpaste and my toothbrush, and I got some strange sideways looks from my friends. And they're like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm brushing my teeth. They're like, are you going to rinse your mouth out? I was like, oh, no, I just swallow it. And so I just swallow it and then like suck off the brush. And then put it back in my toiletries container.
Is there water involved in this? There's no water involved in this process?
maybe have a little swig afterwards.
You didn't even put water on the brush before putting the toothpaste on, the most important thing?
No. What? No, because you've got saliva in your mouth that's very moist and wet.
So what do you do at home, you idiot?
I'm at the sink, but like make do. It doesn't bother me that I swallow, a few times a year.
Do you know what's in toothpaste? Do you have any idea what's
something
in
that's really
toothpaste?
dangerous to digest, which is why they get everyone to put it in their mouths, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Well, Listerine explicitly says do not swallow.
That's because it's got alcohol in it, and they don't want little kids getting pissed off Listerine.
Listerine's different though, because that's mouthwash.
I don't think I've ever swallowed toothpaste
Really?
in my. Absolutely not.
Are you scared?
Yeah, very, very scared. It's just one of the taboos. Do not swallow toothpaste.
But what do you think? I just don't.
It's a spit and rinse.
Yeah, but I don't think that they're going to sell a product that affects people that negatively if they swallow it. Otherwise, there would be huge warnings about it.
Toothpaste contains fluoride, as well as a number of inactive substances that, while not necessarily poisonous, are not intended for regular human consumption.
Great. Regular human consumption, that's fine. I'll do it like
But
4 or
you're
5
happy-
times a year.
You're happy for oft human consumption.
Not oft. It's literally like a few times when I'm camping in a year.
Why don't you just spit it out, you
Yeah.
idiot?
Because I'm in the tent.
Go
Get out of the
outside
tent.
then.
Jesus Christ.
Get out of the tent.
I mean, Mr. Rational and Reasonable, you literally have to take a few steps.
Nah, because when it's really late and other people are asleep or something, or it's in the morning, you can't be bothered.
Just say goodbye to your girlfriend with a peace sign, get out of the tent, and just rinse your mouth.
I'm gonna say that I'm intrigued to try this, and I'll probably try it tonight because I'm very happy with that being the cleanup.
I'm not saying, no, my normal routine is in the sink at home and I water and I brush and I spit and I rinse. I do all of that. I'm saying on the rare occasion that that's not an easy option, I'm happy
swallow
to
it.
swallow it.
Do you brush your tongue
With the backside, yeah.
with the backside of the
with
tooth?
your backside.
With the backside of the brush to scrape it.
Why don't you just use the regular side, which has got the bristles,
Because the backs now are designed that way.
to brush your tongue?
Yes, they've got like rubber bits on them.
Some of them do, Josh. Not
Yes.
all of them. They're not all as enlightened as others.
Yeah.
Well, wait a second. Why do you think, even with the rubber bit on the back, that's a more effective
'Cause it's-
tongue brushing technique rather than bristles?
No, it's not about brushing your tongue. It's got to be a tongue scrape. Have you ever used a spoon? Now that is what I'm talking
yeah.
about.
What, just
Oh,
a
yes.
spoon? Just have you ever used a spoon in general?
Yeah, they are so much easier than forks.
If you get have bad breath or something, you can fully just scrape your tongue
Yep.
with a spoon.
Really?
And it cleans it up so much
A
better.
teaspoon or like a tablespoon?
I use a big spoon.
I'm gonna
A big spoon, a big ladle.
I'm gonna admit something
Yes,
that
I
I've
love
never
this.
said to anyone before.
I love this.
So I have a tongue scraper.
Yeah, good.
A Colgate designed tongue scraper.
Oh.
And every morning I use it, and I don't feel like I'm going to have a good day or I'm able to start my day unless I have scraped so deep into my tongue that I start to dry reach. So I need the scraper to go to the back of my throat, and then for some reason it causes me to retch, and then I feel like my stomach has been kicked into gear for the day.
So what you're saying is you're into BDSM with hygiene.
He loves oral.
Really, really good. You know what's really, really good? Really, really good. You know what's really, really good?
Do you know what's really good? A very generous designated driver.
Really good.
Really good.
Really good.
You know what's really good? Getting older and feeling no shame in very liberally applying sun cream to avoid getting burnt.
Really good. Really good. Really good. Do you know what's really good? Using a deep vocabulary correctly.
Yeah, really good.
Really good.
Really good.
Do you know what's really good? Getting a park in a busy car park straight away.
Yeah,
Really good.
Really good.
Really good.
Really good.
You know what's really good? Your go-to recipe that seems much harder to pull off than it really is.
Really
good.
good.
Really
Really
good.
good. Really good. Do you know what's really good? When an obscure cable you've kept for 6 years finally comes in handy.
Really good.
Really good.
Really good.
Really good.
You know what's
Thank you for listening to Welcome to Patchwork this week. We're getting more and more people enjoying our podcast, but we're greedy and we want many more. So if you think you have friends that will enjoy the podcast, please pass on the name. That name again is Welcome to Patchwork. Josh, what did you sew in your patch this week?
My patch this week is Dion's brother using a broad, sweeping gesture to apply his chapstick. Christian, what patch did you sew this week?
My patch for this week is you, Josh, ordering an ice cream and refusing any toppings with a firm nope. Instead, choosing to garnish your cone with some toothpaste you brought from home. And Dion, what did you sew into your patch this week?
I sewed an image of me having trouble applying chapstick to my lips because I'm blinking too much. Thank you for listening to Welcome to Patchwork. I've been Dion.
I've been Josh.
And I've been Christian.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Really good.
Yeah, I really like that one.
You ready?
Johnny?
You ready, Dean?